Okay, okay. Sit down, all kangaroos. This is Sir David, the Bard. God dang. You people, when I read your comments, I just roll on the floor laughing. I see some funny damn people out there. You've got more of a sense of humor than I've ever thought of having. Anyway, I wanted to do a video because someone chastised me and said that I missed the boob out of the bra, baby feeding harassment in the Mormon church. Well, I didn't miss it. I just thought, well, I'm lazy. A boob is a boob. You know what I'm saying here, folks? Anyway, let me bring the article up since some of you throughout the world. By the way, I'm in 188 countries in the world. And I think there's only 190, so you two bastard countries that don't look at me, get down at your computer workshop, your local place there, and see me. Let me see if I can bring up the Battle of the Boobs. Here we go. Okay, I gotta go back a previous page here, and it probably won't go. Who knows? Alright, this is in the Salt Lake Tribune, March 3rd. I think it's close to today, and the battle breaks out over breastfeeding at Mormon meetings. Now, you know, those of us that have had babies, those newborn babies, they've got to eat about every hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, and when you set the mom and the baby on a bench for 3 damn hours, you know, when a baby cries, the milk starts coming out of her breast. So the Mormon church would rather see her boobs dripping in the meetings than to put the baby on it, and the baby's crying, and you know, the Mormons that just got their head up their ass. You know, if there weren't sexual subjects, there would be no Mormon church. It doesn't exist. It's all about boobs, vaginas, and penises, and if you think it's about religion, you're out of your mind. Here we go. Centuries later, the LDS illustrators included breastfeeding moms in iconic Mormon scenes, standing by a Hancock. I'm dying here, folks. I'm dying here. The boob report. Standing by a hand cart. It is not a Hancock. Or worshiping side by side with men. Well, here's the message is clear. Nursing a baby is sacred. Everything is sacred in the Mormon church. Nothing is simple. God-given responsibility to mothers, not some seductive show. Well, now there's a personal opinion. I don't know. I'm not into boobs, so I don't care how many boobs you pull out, 7 or 8, and feed 9 babies. I don't care. Many women Mormon today take the the charge seriously. They feel comfortable and respected for doing so during various church services, including the sacrament worship meeting, young women's meeting. African women, for example, routinely and without embarrassment suckle their babies at church, untethered by the presence of American missionaries. I know now why. when the missionaries get their calling, they're all rooting for Africa. Jeez. What a religion. This is not a religion. This is a cult. All the Mormon men want to go to Africa, so the African girls pull their boobs out to feed the baby, and that, you know, that's more than a Mormon boy or man has seen in their whole life. Anyway, one Utah woman sang in the choir during her LDS state conference and often directed the music in her own ward while the baby in a sling quietly slurped away. Now, okay. Now, damn. If women want to feed a breastfed baby, I don't see any problem with that at all. But to lead the choir and to be speaking at the podium with the baby, the baby having, you know, brunch. I don't know. Maybe there's still some Mormon in me, which I regret. I truly regret. But, you know, whipping your boob out and feeding your baby anywhere other than on the podium, to me, is no big deal. Indeed, Utah, with its predominant Mormon faith, has one of the highest percentages of breastfeeding moms in the nation. Nearly 86% of the children are breastfed at some point, and 99% of the men are breastfed in each marriage. I just put that on there. Damn. I just put that on there because this is boring. To me, it's boring because I'm not a boob man. Okay. So anyway, in recent years, some Mormon moms in and out of the Beehive State have faced criticism and gossip, and even reprimands from the church leaders for not completely covering up. How do you completely cover? Do you make a blanket with just the nipple that sticks out, and then it has a little flap? I don't know. This is the stupidest shit in the world, and it's on the front page here of the Mormon paper. Sometime later, another ward member confronted the couple as they were walking home from church and accused her of contributing to the pornography problem and not keeping her temple covenants. Now, I've been to the temple many, many times. I told you I was a veil worker in Los Angeles for over a year, and I've never seen any commandments anyway that says, don't let your boob hang out. I don't know. Moore Farley felt more hurt and anger, but she didn't change her mind about breastfeeding, so she began to collect stories like hers from other Mormon moms, and they finally moved to the Bay Area and the California guys. They go, a breastfeeding baby? What's wrong with the Mormon boys up in Utah? They're very sexually, suppressed. Verbal attacks on lactating mothers from many backgrounds have continued, even as proponents have grown more vocal and better organized in the defense of their rights. You know what the women should do? I'm just shitting you now. What the women should do is they should have a demonstration. They should bring their babies to the demonstration, and then just strip from the waist up, and hold the baby, and just rock it, and let the boobs flop in the wind in front of the U.S. or the State Senate office up there, and in front of Temple Square. What would the guards do at Temple Square? Come up at Temple Square and say, you know, that's a nice boob, but put it away. I don't know. They just get so obsessed with these supposed quasi-sexual things. And to me, a baby feeding on a boob is no big sexual thing. Anyway, who said this here? The group that got together. We maintain that it's neither immodest nor immoral for a woman to breastfeed her child as openly as she pleases. We maintain that mothers have a right to be safe from discipline, discrimination, prosecution for nursing in public, or persecution. Maybe it's going to come to prosecution here in Utah, and you do a lineup, you know, and the priesthood holders come in, and the high council comes in behind the mirror, and all the women are stripped from the waist up, and they say, do you see the suspect? And each man goes, yes, every one of them looks exactly like what I saw. What a state! What a state! It's not a state. Utah is a territory. They call themselves a state, but good Lord, they're still a Western territory. And let's see if I can get anything else out of here. This mother's from Idaho, and the Relief Society president, who said some women have complained about her nursing, that she was harming their husbands. Who had porn problems, and that didn't make they didn't want to make their teenage sons exposed to anything. I guess if you breastfeed a baby in a Mormon church in Utah, every male, including the babies in the room, have erections. Except me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not the boob man. Anyway, let's see here on the conclusion. She says that being criticized has been emotionally devastating. She said, I thought I'd feel safe at church. Let me tell you something. After 50 years, there is no safety at a Mormon church. It's one of the most dangerous places you can be. If you value your emotional health, don't go to a Mormon church. She says it's largely a U.S. Cultural problem. I guess so. And she wouldn't use a blanket or go to an isolated area and leave the other kids, you know, sitting in there wild, screaming and what about single mothers and those whose husbands are sitting on the stand. Other issues is common Mormon views of female bodies and modesty. In other words, every man has been so sexually repressed in that society. If a tree looks like it's a big vagina, he'll hump it. Tree, come here. And he won't notice that it doesn't move and it has no emotion. That's what he gets at home anyway. So it's even. So he's married to the tree. If a man sees me breastfeeding and is thinking sexually, it's his problem. My husband says there's nothing sexy about it. I agree with her husband. If motherhood is the LDS woman's highest calling, she says, get out of our way and let us follow our own conscience and how to best do that. Okay. The Bard is for boobs. Let me go back to me. Am I still on, or the Danites got me again? Anyway, I've been trying to this is crazy. It's crazy. This is not a church. This is insanity. I've been trying to breastfeed for years. I've called Marie Osmond on several occasions when she's lactating, but you know, there's no response there. I know, you guys say, oh, she's an old woman and she's ugly now. Well, the Bard sees her when she was 17 when I was at BYU. Anyway, a baby breastfeeding, I don't think they should say anything about it. Me and the other priesthood holders trying to breastfeed during sacrament meeting, hey, you might say, hey, is that appropriate? And I go, well, I think it is. That's why I'm not there anymore, folks. And so happy that I'm not. Thank you.